Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Real Estate Uncensored. Now, we are doing batch shootings today. So, yes, we did just come up today. We have an incredible guest. He's a returning victim to the corral derel, the barber makes for fear of pain. Yes, he's back. Curtis from Red X. Curtis, how are you, my friend?
Doing really good. Happy to be here.
Good, man. I'm glad you're doing well because we're going to put you through the paces today. We have some incredible stuff. We're going to be talking about social media, what you're doing wrong. Gene Volpe has weighed on this very heavily. And Gene, how are you? Good to see you, man. I should have introduced you first, but Curtis is such a good-looking man. I had to say hello to him. He has a full head of hair too, so he has one up on you.
People don't need to hear about me anymore. Curtis, you did the right thing. You should have introduced Curtis first. I'm going to do this. Ready? And I'm sorry that it had to happen this way, Curtis, but what are you doing wrong on social media? Probably everything. All right, good night. That's it. Let's go. Wrap it up.
Show over.
I got shit to do.
All right, guys, let's put a bow on the color on the bow on the show, and we're out of here. No, we're just kidding. But I mean, it is a serious thing because a lot of us, we get disheartened. Gene, you talk to a lot of clients. Curtis, you talk to a lot of clients, and we just hear on the show about stuff like this. But in reality, we try. We just don't get the results that Bob over at Remax, Stacy over at Coldwell, they're getting, and we beat our heads against the wall trying to figure it out. So, Curtis, walk me through at a high level, and then we're going to get into the weeds. What do you see right now that people are not doing, and how are they messing up so poorly on their social media when they could do it so much for very, very easy and very, very low cost or no cost?
Yeah, so let's talk first at a high level, and then we can go at a high level. No, people just don't have a strategy, right? So
right, okay,
they get on and they're just posting stuff, right? They don't understand the difference between business and personal. They don't understand how to build a network. They don't understand what to talk about. But most importantly, in the strategy, they don't understand where social media fits into their business strategy. Mm-hmm. So they start just throwing stuff at social media, and then they're mad because either they're not generating leads, because that's a different social media strategy to generate leads, and they're also not forming any sort of brand or reputation because they're mixed up between leads and brand and reputation and what should I do, and all they're posting is the same thing of I got another listing, and here's another listing. So I think at the highest level, they just don't have a strategy for what they should be doing on social media.
Okay, strategy. Let's break that down for half a second. If you so I'm a new agent, right? I'm Greg McDaniel, brand new agent, just got in the business. I'm all ready to rock and roll and take over the world and do $1 billion my first year, but I don't know which direction to go in because everybody's yelling at me from their rooftops, going, buy my product, come over to my service, use my coaching, do this, do that, don't do this, don't go here, go there. How do you filter out the noise when it comes to social media? How do you get how do you have clarity on your first step on promoting yourself in your business?
Yeah, so I would answer that question first, that a new agent there's so many more important things they should be focused on before they even think about social media as a brand new agent, which is the ability to go out and hunt for business and go out and find the business. Mm-hmm. And social media tends to be, there are lead strategies in social media where you could pay and start doing advertising, start generating leads. But there's easier converting, higher return leads that you should be working. I'm biased because of Red X, so I think a new agent should be calling on expireds and FSBOs and working vacant rentals and absentee owners and all of those people who are really close to a transaction. And then if you're doing all of the activities to hunt for the business, then social media becomes part of that hunting strategy where you say, well, wouldn't it be nice if the people I'm trying to get in front of, the FSBOs, the expireds, the pre-foreclosures, the people in a neighborhood around a listing my office just got, what if they were able to see your face over and over and over again before you reached out? Right now, social media becomes a force multiplier in your overall hunting strategy, with a fringe benefit of having your face live forever in the metaverse where people can see you over and over, thereby forming a reputation, starting to create a brand over time.
Yeah. So Gene, so we built a brand. Where do we go from here with that?
Before you call Red X or afterwards?
Well, of course, after you call Red X.
Oh, well, that would be first, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I hate this part because I feel like if you've been watching the show and you're not doing it yet, you're not going to do it now, right? Solidify the brand, pick a place.
What do you mean pick a place?
Pick a place. Where do your eyeballs live? Where the eyeballs of your clients live, right? So are you dealing with 56-year-old CEOs who are looking to downsize or upsize? Are they on LinkedIn or are they on Pinterest, right? So find out who your favorite client is. How many times would you like to reuse that client? You know, they had an 800 credit score called Building Your Avatar, right? 800 credit score. They had no problem getting a mortgage. They make 250 grand a year. They were like, you just do your business. I'll pay you 7%. I don't care. Like somebody who's just the easiest client you ever had. How do you recreate that 15 times a year? And then I would go to them and say, let me ask you, where do you spend 70% of your time on the internet? And they'll go learn that space and go at it hard. That's all.
So when you talk about going and learning where they spend their time, are we talking about social media? Are we talking about CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, sports? I mean, just anywhere or what?
Well, no. So first of all, I would always if you're not doing anything, you should definitely be on Facebook Business at a minimum, because you can then create a Instagram account and the two link very nicely. You can spend advertising dollars. It's fairly easy to use at a low level. Like you should definitely be there. There's 4.9 billion people on Facebook or whatever. There's 3 billion average users, in any given month. So people are still there. I don't care what anybody says. Your audience in real estate are probably still there. You're not targeting the 17-year-old TikToker in most cases to buy a house, right? So like go there and learn that too. But what I mean by that is, look, if you go to your top 4 clients and they all go, I spend 70% of my time on CNN. Well, you probably need to get new clients. But if you're sticking with those clients, and that's not a political statement, you need to then what I would do is I would go, all right, how do they get those ads above on CNN and on the right-hand side? Every time I go there, I see something that has to do with something that I like, right? There's third-party vendors like Taboola that do that stuff. Taboola has relationships with these MSNBC, ESPN, Fox News, whatever, and go learn that system. Create 3 different ads on those pages and start advertising for $200 a month on the channels that your buyers and sellers are telling you that they're spending most of their time.
Okay.
What Gene's talking about is, I mean, see, he speaks and I go, we speak the same language because we're marketers, right? And marketing is very simple. It's about who is your audience, who are your people, and where do they hang out, and how do you get in front of them and speak to them in a way that they'll listen, right? That's marketing. And I think though, what can be overwhelming, is just the idea of like, even when you say, well, go learn that, you've got 70% of agents that are like, oh man, I got to learn one more thing. Like they barely passed a class that only took 100 hours. And I'm sorry, this isn't meant to be offensive, but it doesn't teach them anything about how to run a business. It taught them a few things about how not to get sued, but then they have a license. So now they're going, okay, go learn digital marketing, right? Go, and it can be overwhelming. And I think if I had to say what Gene said from a Red X lens, I would say for most agents, your ideal client, and this is for the average agent too, Gene. I mean, the average person's only doing a handful of transactions.
Right.
So your ideal client is anyone that will listen to you, right? which again, sorry to keep, it's not just bias. It's the most successful agents out there start with expireds and FSBOs and pre-foreclosures and calling around just listed and just sold, calling the small group of their sphere of influence that they might have as a new agent. Those are the people that are close to a transaction that are your ideal customer. And what people don't understand is you can take that information and put it onto the social media platforms and start targeting those people with content or ads, right? You can do that right now. And you don't have to buy anything from me. You might, or anywhere. You got to get a list of expireds and have their email and phone number and load them up, and Facebook will match that to their users. And now all of a sudden you have people who are close to a transaction, and where their eyeballs, if they're on Facebook, you're going to be in front of them with your content. So
Curtis, I want to ask you a question, because you were, and Greg, this goes for you too. I want you to ask this.
Okay.
I ask this to people all the time. Like when you started your little diatribe there, you talked about how, go where your people are. And sometimes, agents go, I got to learn something new, right? So suppose I said this to you. Suppose I said, Wednesday night, 25 miles from your house, there's going to be a get together at this building, right? And there's going to be 100 people there that are there because they are trying to get credit repair. I'm making shit up, right? They're trying to get credit repair, which in my mind may indicate that they're on the line for a big purchase somewhere in the future. Maybe it's a car. I don't know, right? Maybe it's a Rolex. I don't know. Could be a house, maybe. I don't know. But if I said to you, there's $100 barrier of entry and you don't know where the building is, and you actually don't know where the entrance to the building is, but you do know if you get inside, there's 100 potential buyers there. Are you going to pull out your GPS, figure out where it is, get out there, stop at the ATM in the bank and get $100, and then figure out a way into the building and then introduce yourself to people that you never met before? Is that something that, Greg, you would do as a real estate agent?
No.
But you better put yourself back on screen so I can visually slap you.
Okay, slap me away. Why would? Okay, so you're saying I have to get out of my car and go introduce myself to people?
That's it.
So remember I told you about the 25 business cards?
Yeah, yeah.
I've said this about 1,000 times on our over 1,200 shows here, which is almost every show. The fact is, like, get out and hand out your business card. Be unapologetic about who you are, and never ever give one flying what about who they are, who you are. Give less than one crap, because you know what? The people who you think are really highfalutin in your neighborhood, or the people you think are at the bottom of the totem pole, every one of them are a valuable human being. They all know somebody that you can bring light, joy, love, and grace and kindness to, either in the business world or in a professional realm, or just be someone to be a shoulder that they can talk to and lean on.
All right.
Gene's putting his finger up, so he has something to say.
Well, because I want to say, I think you missed the point.
You too.
But you added to it, which I appreciate. But what I meant by that was, if I told you there was 100 potential buyers in a space that you didn't know how to get to, that you had to pay money to get into, that was out of your comfort zone for 10 minutes, would you figure out how to get into that space? If the answer is no, you shouldn't be in real estate, right? If the answer is without question, then why are you scared of advertising on Facebook? If you have a bunch of potential buyers, they're sitting in a space that you're unfamiliar with, might cost you a couple $100 a month. Get in there and fucking learn it.
Yeah. No, you bring up a great point, Curtis. I'm going to go over to you on this one. And when it comes into getting out of my comfort zone, I believe if I had a conversation with you or someone over at your organization at RedX, and you guys said, "Hey, Greg, we have this thing called for rent by owners. Do you want to call them?" I'm like, "What the fuck am I going to do with rent by owners? I don't want to deal with the rentals." And I'm like, this is out of my comfort zone. I have no idea. Let me try this. And I figured out I have 3 opportunities. I can help them rent it, I can help them sell it, or I can help them buy something new. I'm like, this is a triple threat. This is an amazing opportunity. In the point I'm telling you, the story is the fact that once you stop thinking traditionally, you start thinking creatively and wanting to bring value to the folks that you're around. All of a sudden, the world opens up really quickly. Curtis, what have you seen in regards to that?
Oh, I mean, that's our business is helping people find the opportunity outside of their comfort zone. I mean, that's this month we're 19 years in business.
Oh, congrats, man.
Yeah. And over that time, we've helped over 200,000 agents, right? That are out there, out of their comfort zone, doing things and learning things. Yeah. You got to learn something anywhere, Gene. And I'm not saying that we can't help agents get there. It's just overwhelming to hear, there's so many things. Digital marketing is so new. And if you look at the demographic of most agents, digital marketing is a new thing for a lot of successful agents and for them to jump into. And so I think the opportunity is there for those who figure that out. The opportunity is also there for tools and products and systems that help you do that. I think not every agent's, you get to the point where you go, I'm not a transaction coordinator. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to use the transaction coordinator that's either my office or broker or third party, because I'm a real estate agent, not a transaction coordinator. And I think if agents can get to the point and be pointed in the right direction, because it doesn't have to cost tens of thousands of dollars to say, I'm not a digital marketer. I'm going to go find the right tools and systems to help me do that, because I know it's important in my business, but I don't have to to be the person that does all of that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Stepping out of your role, Howard Britton, if you guys don't know him, you new agents don't. He died about, gosh, I think I'm almost 15 years ago. It's been so fast, but so long at the same time. He was an OG coach and trainer. He came up with like Mike Ferry, Brian Buffini. Like he and my dad came up through the same company together. He's legit OG status. And one of the things he talked about when it comes to building your social media account, which wasn't around when he was alive and coaching, he says, get out of your character and get into your role. Now, what does that mean? Get out of your character, get into your role. Now, I've been on a kick lately to watch America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent, right? I don't know why it is. I watch the worst singers, the best singers. I watch comedians. I watch everything, all the clips, right? And the one thing that I saw, there was this young girl. She's probably 15 years old. Probably saw it. She did a Janis Joplin rendition, and she was this shy little meek creature when she got on stage. Then when the music hit, dude, this girl came alive. Like it was a different human being on that stage. And so when it comes to your prospecting, your social media, you have to get out of your character, which is your day-to-day human being, and get into your role as a real estate prospector and guide and individual who has market knowledge to help and assist in another family, another entity in your community to get the best results they possibly can. So again, it's getting out of your character, getting into your role. And that goes into something that I really want to get into. It's the brand builder product that RedX, Curtis, you guys are creating, because the brand, again, when you get out of your character and get into your role, that's where you start generating revenue based upon the fact that you are genuine, you're honest, and you're something that is attractive to the other person. So walk us down kind of what brand builder is, how does it work in regards to using your system, and how people can put it into action ASAP to get results and better their lifestyle, whatever that might look for them.
Yeah. I mean, this goes along with social media and everything we're talking about. It goes along with tools and systems that I think are affordable for agents without the promise of, without the huge price tag. But I got to give you some history, because we're talking about social media, and RedX really started in data, and we believe the core of a good social media strategy is data. It's what we're talking about. It's if you could get your content, and if you had good professional content, and you could get it in front of all of the expireds, the FSBOs, the people in your database, the sphere of influence on a regular basis, what would that do for your brand or reputation? And so we started looking at what top producers were doing, and it was so simple, is that they were leveraging the social media algorithms in a way that could get their content in front of the right people over and over and over again, because that is how a brand is built, or a reputation is built. And so Brand Builder, our new product, is a product where we help agents create the right type of content, professionally produced video content, because 85% of social media users want more video. Even Instagram recently made their big announcement, said, I'm sorry, but we're not going to be a photography based platform. We're going to be a video based platform. And even TikTok has now surpassed Google in the amount of searches that are done on a regular basis, which is crazy. So after 15 years,
run that back. Who overdid who?
TikTok
really
overtook Google in the number of searches.
No way.
Yep. And
when did that happen?
That was about a month ago. And if you combine Google with YouTube, they're still on top. But as a single platform, TikTok surpassed Google in the amount of searches that are done. And so even you have a whole generation of people that aren't even going to YouTube or Google to say, how do I do my taxes? They're going to TikTok and they're watching short video clips of how do I do my taxes, right? Or how do I get a loan for my home? Or how do I? So TikTok is like this crazy platform that is.
Well, actually, to what you were saying right there, I completely agree with you. One of my good friends, Alyssa Glutz, she's on TikTok, and I gotta turn this down because she just turns on her music right away. But she does loans, right? And she's a middle-aged white chick, super funny, dude. Guess how many people are following her as of right now of this recording on TikTok talking about loans?
Yeah, it's probably a lot.
457,800 people, and she has 4.5 million likes. and she puts out crazy little things, and people will start and follow her all the time. And you're 100% right on that, dude. I can't believe they overtook Google, but that does not surprise me, because a lot of people are going to these social media sites to get insight really quickly without having to do a long formal search.
Well, and it's all about the videos that are producing that. That's why TikTok has surpassed. That's why YouTube Shorts is so big, and Reels on it's the short video clips that are punchy, that are providing some sort of value. They're either going to entertain, they're going to inform, they're going to inspire, they're going to validate. That's kind of the basis of the strategy we help agents do. Is your content has to do one of those things for the viewer. Otherwise, they're not going to be interested. And if they're not interested, the platform knows it, and they're not going to put your stuff in front of those people again. And so the idea is, yeah, you have followers and people. Our goal is not to help people go viral. The goal is to consistently put their face, their video, in front of the right audience enough times that audience starts to form an opinion or belief about the real estate agent. And it's not a single strategy, meaning you could do that, and if that's all you ever did, maybe it would take a very long time for you to then get direct business from that. But what happens is, if you have the right content on social platforms, and that content is being served up and shown to all of the expired listings in your marketplace, all of a sudden, when you call that expired, or you knock on their door, or you send them a mailer, you have this multi-prong approach to where they're going, oh, Greg, I know who you are. And we've talked about this before, Greg, that even all of your shows online, you'll walk into a coffee shop and somebody's like, whoa, you're Greg McDaniels. I watch your podcast, right? You have a reputation because they've seen your stuff over and over and over. And so what we're doing is we're helping agents create the right messaging strategy to the right audience. And then we're producing all of that content for them and serving it up for them, targeting all of the data that we've been helping agents with for, almost 20 years.
So it goes back to the old, the old saying of being persistent and consistent on creating content, creating value, creating an allure. Basically, it's like going fishing. You got to throw your lure in, make that thing wiggle a little bit, so the fish, aka the clients, will bite on what you're offering, and then they get hooked in a very positive way, not a negative way, onto you and your team or yourself and what you have to offer, and so on and so forth. I really like that quite a bit. How do people, if you're brand new listening to this, or you just want to restart, if you've never done a triple line dialer and you want to build a brand, but gosh dang it, I've been not doing referrals forever, but that's kind of starting to dry up because my clientele is starting to die off, which is happening. My friends, I have friends that are dying. I have my parents' friends that are passing away. How do you rejuvenate that whole essence of who you are to a whole new demographic, using the brand builder program and using kind of just some pure, just logical knowledge?
Yeah, I think first is you don't have to change anything about who you are. I think the idea of a reputation is to be totally authentic to who you are, right, and that's going to attract to the right audience. Now what you're talking about is different, right? To an expired listing, what you're talking about may be different than to a real estate investor, maybe different to a first-time home buyer. And so those kind of niches, you might craft your conversation differently. And again, that's really what we do is try to, who you are is the center of the topic wheel that we help agents put together as part of their strategy. And that's what drives you, what gets you out of bed in the morning. Those are the things that, that you can't lie about, right?
Right.
And for two reasons. One is eventually that comes out, right? And two, and two, you're never passionate about it. So if you're trying to produce content to be consistent on social media and you're talking about something you don't care about, the motivation to keep going is never going to happen. So we help people understand the niches, the themes. I'll give you an example. If somebody is an agent in their area and they want to be maybe a theme, it's pretty broad, but they're the local expert, right?
Okay.
They're the local advisor, right? So they're attracting new people into their communities. Well, their content might consist of restaurant reviews, showing the parks, video of the park. It might be local community events where they're talking about or helping even promote local community events, in addition to what's going on in the real estate market in those local areas, the homes for sale, the listings they might have. But if you only talk about one of those things, you're only going to be interesting to a portion of the people you're either targeting or that are following you. And as soon as there's a large group of people uninterested in the content that you produce, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, they know that. And so they'll deprioritize everything you post. So it's about a variety of topics and niches and content that goes out. And again, what we do at the Brand Builder is we help them figure that out. They still record the short video clips, but then we take everything from there and we go through the whole thing and do the video editing, the captions, the titles, the copy, the posting, the boosting, everything else for them.
Sounds awesome. Tony Paparino, who, guys, we interviewed a little earlier today, and he has another great show coming out. He posted up here a link. Gene, can you read that? Because my dyslexic ass is going to fuck that up.
It's in investorsdigest.com.
In this /articles/Instagram, how to a video app.
Yeah, Instagram is now a video app. Yep, which is what they came out and said. There was all kinds of fighting on Instagram about that, and the CEO finally came out and just said, "I'm so sorry, but this is the direction we're heading." And they changed all their aspect ratios of how you should post videos. The timing of videos changed in their algorithms. And again, an agent can be reading all this stuff and doing that and keeping up on it. We have full-time employees that all they're doing is understanding the trends of the social platforms so that when we edit the content, we're editing in a way that the platform likes the content, so they'll serve it up more frequently.
Let me ask you a question about that. Are you guys seeing trends that you didn't expect, or are you kind of like you're on par for what you expected to see?
Yeah, I think I'm on par. I would put me in an older category. So the whole TikTok trend is weird to me.
Yep.
But that's because I'm like a late adopter anyway. I mean, I didn't have a Facebook account till 2010 or something like that. And
what are you, like 75, but in like a 35-year-old's body?
That's right. That's right. So I'm 41, so I'm not that old, but I'm old enough that I'm like, TikTok, these dang ragamuffins, get off my lawn kind of thing, right? I mean, I don't get it. But
dude, I'm turning 44 this year, and I understand TikTok. Come on, give me a better excuse than 41.
I'm just saying the trends of TikTok have been really interesting, and not just the trends of who is moving over there. I think that's probably what I didn't expect is, and Gene either, because he even made a comment earlier. He's like, "You're probably not selling to the 17-year-old on TikTok," but the reality is there's a ton of millennial generation that right now is representing, more than a third of all the buyers and sellers right now that they're on TikTok. That's their primary platform. And so as we get older, those generations come up on different platforms. And if you want to be there over the next 10 years, I think TikTok is going to be jumping in.
Yeah, I really like TikTok. I have always thought there's something there for it. And I think it's amazing what you guys are building. If people are going to get involved with kind of where you guys are jumping into the industry right now, what would be your top 3 quick, fast takeaways to start building that brand so that when they engage with the Red X and they're ready to really move forward, they have a generally a baseline of knowledge? What would be the first 3 steps? Just 10,000 feet.
So, and you're talking about a social media strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. One is you got to get comfortable with video and doing that. So that's one thing. Selfie videos is really great because most people are consuming all that stuff on their phone anyway. I love Tony's comment on Facebook right here. That as a tangent here. Sorry, I'll get to the rest of my answer here, Greg. But this is exactly why we're doing what we're doing. Okay. In fact, customers that are doing brand building, that's what they're saying. They're like, "Oh man, my calls are so much easier because they already know who I am." Mm-hmm. And that's the whole point is building a reputation to the right audience, which are a whole bunch of people really close to a transaction: FSBOs, pre-foreclosures, expireds, canceled, withdrawn, right? So video, back to your question, video, got to get really comfortable with video, short, punchy video. The second would be topics.
Wait. When it comes to short, what do you mean by short? Are we talking about 2 seconds, 25 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour? What's short?
If you're not very interesting, 30 seconds.
Gene,
Or
can you
less.
please take this to heart? Can you take that
I
to
don't
heart?
do any video. I do 0-second videos.
Right. So if you have something great to talk about, something that again, here's the 4 things, and I know you said short things, but here's 4 things your video has to do. We call it the post contract, which means if the highest form of currency is attention, and if somebody's going to pay you their attention, what are they getting in return for their attention, right? And so you need to pay them back. Like what they're paying for is these 4 things: entertainment, right? That's why none of us hated Geico commercials when they first came out, because they all made us laugh. Now they're not as funny, and now we're back to being annoyed, right? But it entertained us, so we paid attention for entertainment. The second is inspiration or motivation. That's pretty self-explanatory. The third would be information or education, like they're learning something that's interesting to them. So think of all the YouTube videos you watch, right? You're either learning something, you're being inspired or motivated, or you're entertained. And the last one is validate, which is probably the most powerful thing. Like if you work with first-time home buyers and you're making videos about how frustrating the interest rate is right now, and that you validate their feeling of frustration, and then you follow it up with some hope and inspiration, those videos are going to be consumed, all 60 seconds of it, right? Maybe even pull off 90-second videos with that.
Right.
But the post, think of it as a contract. Every time I post something, they're going to pay attention and going to be mad about the ROI, or are they going to be happy about the ROI?
Let me say something real quick. So
No.
Curtis, that was damn brilliant, is what that was, right? You're paying them your attention, right?
Yep.
And then you're looking for something in exchange. I think that's great. I'm actually putting together a presentation right now, and I find some things super interesting when it comes to the psychology of a buyer, right? Of somebody you're marketing to. And one of the things is attention span. And I want to just say this to you, right? And actually, Greg, take me off full screen here, because I want to watch Curtis's reaction to this.
Okay, there you go.
So when you talk about attention span, in the year 2000, studies were done that said the average person had a 12-second attention span. In 2015, it went to 8.25, which is less than a goldfish, right? Now, we're talking 7 years later. And 7 years later, if you go by the 2000 at 12 seconds to almost 4 seconds less in 2015, 15 years later, then probably 7 years later, it would probably suffice to say that maybe we lost another second or two of that. But with COVID, I'd be willing to bet you we lost 4 full seconds, right? So here's what I want to ask you. I think you got to capture that attention in the first 4 seconds. So when I go, hey guys, Gene Volpe, GVI Media, all right, you're out, you're done, we missed it, right? How did I catch you with the hook? I think your hook has to come in the first 4 to 6 seconds, or you're going to lose them. Your thoughts on that?
No, I have exactly your thoughts. You even use my word. We train people as a hook. So even our customers that we're helping do a video, we give them an outline. We don't do a script because it has to be authentic, but a hook. And we remind them every time, don't introduce yourself and don't explain what the video is going to be. Nobody gives a crap about that stuff, right? And so there's a few hooks that work really well in marketing. And it's like the news headline in the form of a statement or a question, where it's like, did you hear the Queen, passed away yesterday? Everybody's paying attention to that because that is what's going on. It's a news headline. The clickbait kind of headline, I hate to call it that, but you can't overuse it. Otherwise it does become that, where it's like, I'm going to show you a secret for working out that it's going to blow your mind. Right? You're like, okay, I get caught, the hook thing enough. So yeah, you got to hook them in the first few seconds. But let me explain something else. There's a great book called Fascinate. It's a few years old. Sally Hogshead, I think, is the author. And really goes into psychology of when your brain is fascinated with something. And so you think about, we only have an 8-second attention span, but how many seconds did you pay attention to the Top Gun movie that you just watched?
3
I
hours.
still want to see that movie, by the way.
You haven't seen it?
No.
I haven't either.
Oh man, it's so great. It's
Well,
so great.
there's a theater in San Francisco that has 3 different screens, and then the chairs will move and they'll spray smells on you. So I'm like, oh, we have to go see it there.
Yeah.
Listen, come here. I'll spray smells on you. You don't need to pay to go to the movies. Just come over here.
Oh my God. Okay, moving. This is a family show. Okay, Gene.
Sorry.
My God.
So look, yes, we have short attention spans, but when the right story and a lot of the psychology goes into storytelling. Donald Miller is another great author that writes a few marketing books that I really like, that talks about the attention span. Your brain is designed to do 2 things, right? Survive and conserve calories to survive. So it's not going to expend energy paying attention to anything that isn't bettering your situation, right? Which goes back to the post contract of, is it making me laugh? Is it inspiring me? Is it educating me? Or is it, or is it validating a feeling that I have, right? It's moving us that way. So I just think the attention span thing is how you make your videos. But if your topics are interesting and you tell them in the form of a story, then people are going to pay attention to the whole video.
So can I ask you a question now? And I know the answer to that, right? That was facetious.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of Neil Ford?
Neil Ford.
So it's NEAL FORD, right?
No.
And actually maybe FOARD, but I think it's FORD. This guy is in marketing, and I found him on TikTok. Actually, this all kind of pulls it together. And when you talk about a storyteller, this dude is one of the best storytellers I've ever seen. It's crazy. Like, I reached out to him and I was like, I just love your stuff, right? Just take some time to go on YouTube and I will tell you, because he's such a great storyteller and the things are a minute to 2 minutes, I consume 100% of all his videos.
Yep.
All of them.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I think that's exactly it. I mean, we're speaking the same language. So the videos have to have a hook. They have to have a good story and a good call to action. That's the 3 makeups of the video content that you want to have. And the call to action, doesn't always have to be a hey, like below or click the link below, or like a social media call to action. The call to action is really to try to get people to engage at a human level with your content that you're posting. So your call to action is to get them to think, or to share. And I don't mean share with the button, although that's nice, but it's like, how many times you've gone home and you're going, oh man, I saw this meme, right? And you're telling someone about a meme that you saw that made you laugh, right? Or you, right now you're telling, like, if I said, what is your favorite Neil Ford concept, and you would share that, it's like, that's the type of engagement you want. That's what's going to buy the mind share in people's mind of your reputation, is if you've occupied them thinking and contemplating about what you said or did. That's the win. That's what you're going for. So the call to action is about, think about that and let me know, or it's that type of call to action to end the video.
Yeah. And as far as like call to actions, I'll give you 2 more that we love. Call to action for me is, hey, I'm buying coffee next week. If you're interested in having a cup, there's no obligation. Or I have to eat lunch every day, right? I got 5 opportunities next week to eat lunch. If anybody wants to join me, lunch is on me over here at PJ's, and let's just talk about how I can help you with your business, help you with your life, help you with whatever, with nothing in expectation, right? Like, let's have some coffee. You call me. I got it open. I tell this story a lot during the COVID thing. I was doing these things called Superpower Coffee Hour. And I just opened my calendar on Tuesdays and Thursdays for people, just saying, jump on a Zoom with me. We're all stuck in our basements. Jump on a Zoom, grab your coffee, 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's have 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Tell me what's going on in your world. You want to get away from your kids for a half hour? Let's get on Zoom. You want to yell at me? Let's go to Zoom. You want to talk marketing? I'm happy about it. We'll do all that. And I got such a great response to that, because people were like, well, what do you want out of it? No, I just want to see somebody else's face, dude. I'm stuck in the basement. Like, that doesn't, I love your call to actions. They're great. It doesn't always have to be, if you need real estate, call me. No,
right.
Most people don't need real estate right now. So how do you get in their space and stay there? Lunch is a good start.
Yeah. Yep.
Greg is responding to
Well, I got a lot of folks that are hitting me up on the back
it.
channel in regards to kind of what we're talking about here. So I'm trying to do 4 things at once. My deepest apologies. I love the content where we're going with
I
this.
just said it because I was just filling the air, letting you finish it, right?
Yeah.
I know you're not, you're reading, so there's no way you could actually be talking to us at the same time, let alone listening to what I'm saying about your ugly hat. So
okay. So
you heard that, did you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God, guys, Gene's service just really went out all of a sudden. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, there it is. He's back. Oh, my gosh. Thank God he's back. Love the criticism.
I do have, just so I can leave people with some value. Hopefully, the conversation is value, but not everybody, if you are a new agent and you don't have the budget and you want to get started with stuff, there's a few tools out there. Your smartphone is the first tool you should have. I mean, that's where a lot of your videos, it works well with posting on there. There's some tools like Descript is a fantastic, fantastic video tool. It uploads, it will transcribe, it makes the captions easy, it makes it easy to edit. You can highlight the words and it will just cut it right out of your video. And I think it's probably, I know it's less than $100 a month.
It's free. So for the people you're talking to right now, I'm using the free version and what I do, and I get 3 hours of transcription.
3 hours. Yeah. And that's plenty for what people are doing. So Descript is a fantastic tool. And I get a lot of mixed reviews on this one, but if you are new and you don't have anything else, Canva or Relay that, from a marketer, I know, but if they've got nothing, because
no, Curtis, I wasn't. No. That saves my life 33 times a day.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
I'm selling it, dude. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, and these are great, inexpensive tools that you can take your social media and the posts that you're doing from total, garbage to professionally produced, right? And those are things that can really help, because again, what kind of brand do you want? Maybe professional isn't your brand. That would be weird, but as a professional real estate agent, but maybe it's not. But if it is, those are some really inexpensive tools to get you started. And then once you have that, it's just consistency. And there's 4 categories the algorithms, the social media platforms use to decide whether your content gets seen. One of them is recency. And so if you're not constantly putting things out there, consistently putting things out there, then your stuff isn't prioritized.
Yeah. Guys, I want you to reach out to Curtis over at RedX, and don't do the RedX anymore. It is purely redx.com.
Both of them will get us there, Greg.
Right. Okay. So both, but we do know that RedX is now going to the appropriate place in life.
That's right.
It's going over to you guys. Reach out to him. We're coming up on a hard stop. I have another meeting I've got to jump to. I would sit here and listen to Curtis's voice all day long, because it's sultry and beautiful, and he's got incredible knowledge. And I just want to sit here and just sit at his feet and just learn. But reach out to him. Curtis, where's the best place to get a hold of you?
Right now, to look at everything that we've been doing, I don't know if that went just to chat with us, but if you go to redxbrandbuilder.com, that'll take you to a page that explains at least the services that we have to offer, the product, the app, everything to help you do all of this. Is redxbrandbuilder.com. Shows you some before and afters of the videos. Thank you, Gene.
Yes, sir.
So, if they go there, they can always request a demo or a phone call. And other than that, we're redx.com.
Nice. Love it. Gene, take away. Where can people get a hold of you?
Today, they're not going to get a hold of me. I'm going to do what I shouldn't do, and I'm going to push them to another company. And I think you should reach out and click that RedX Brand Builder. I mean, you just heard Curtis for 35 minutes. Just call the guy.
Yeah, I would too.
Call him.
I call him when I'm having down days, and he's like my little mentor. He's out there always being a great guy. Company's phenomenal. Guys, go check it out. Before we leave, we have literally 30 seconds. 2 colors on the bow on the show. Curtis, what is your color on the bow for the show? And then Gene, over to you.
Color on the bow. I don't even know what that means, but I'm going to have to go with red.
Red for RedX. Love it. Red X. Gene, what's your color on the bow?
Greg, you're gonna love this. I knew he was gonna go with red.
Of course.
I'm a forward thinker. So what I did is I searched for a color that starts with X, and there's a color out there called xanthic. So that is going to be my color today. How do you like that?
All right. I like them apples. All right. So we're going to go. What is the color, bro?
Xanthic, red and red.
Xanthic is going to be Gene's color. We're going to do red for red X on this bow for our show, guys. We love you guys to pieces. Thank you for coming and watching and listening. We cannot do this show without you, and we appreciate you more than you can ever imagine. Give us a hashtag if you love what Curtis brought. We love what Gene brought. If you like anything that I brought, give us a little hashtag, a little shout out, and all the comments in the places you guys listen and watch all their podcasts. Until next episode, guys, peace out, ninjas. We're gone.